day, the best, the most beautiful, the most attentive, the most generous, the most talented audience in the world, the 115 audience for my show this afternoon. Hooray! I start because it's been so long since we've been doing shows and you've been going to see shows that I'll just run through a few points about being an audience in case you've forgotten. And I thought I was a good teacher, but yesterday this bit actually failed completely because the guy didn't get it. Although I did leave out the bit. So I'll say it first. I'll say it first. At the end I will bow and say thank you very much. And that will be the end of the show. And I'd like you to stay until the end. And not leave at the first opportunity you get when you think that I can't see. which is okay. So that's one point about being an audience. The next point is that it's a clowny comedy show, so thinks it's funny. And it will flow better if you occasionally laugh. Again, this is ironic again. Is there anyone else downstairs?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Right. Because I have put this bit in too. Earlier on, this wouldn't have been applicable because there's nobody downstairs. But yes, can you direct that towards the stairs so that they'll be jealous that they didn't watch the show? And occasionally he thinks it's a funnier bit, and he'll give a bigger laugh. A nice big laugh. It's all just to keep the flow going, so he doesn't get upset. The other thing is that it's clowny kind of comedy show. He's only a sort of gentle clown comedian. He's not one of these big macho stand-ups. So don't heckle him. It'll put him over and he gets upset. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to see that. It's pathetic. So so the other thing, I think that's all. I think you've, yes, and the occasional applause. Perhaps towards the end, it could be, I use this analogy. You see, I'm very to show you my education. By analogy, imagine that you're at the only concert ever given by the Rolling Stones and Beyonce together. They've just done their last number and they've gone off, and you know that they're going to do an encore, but you have to shout and scream before they do it. You have to practice that shouting and screaming in case you need to do it. Yeah, thank you. So you could do that. If you do that sometime during the show, that would be greatly appreciated. And I didn't get the guy to practice that yesterday, so maybe that's. And then he was lied instead. His expectations weren't high enough. So your expectations should be high. Right, so we'll begin with put down the microphone for this part. The story is called When I Was Alive. One of the things we did when I was alive was go to the beach in Ireland in the 1950s. And in Ireland in the 1950s, when you went to the beach, you had to change under a towel. And I'm going to demonstrate the art of changing under a towel, which has been lost. In case any flesh got revealed, not that there was any flesh in Ireland in the 1950s, just to guard against that. What I'm doing is I can tell you about another thing that we did in Ireland in the 1950s was to go with my dad every Easter Monday to see the military parade. And you knew the military parade was coming to an end because you could hear, first of all, the soldiers marching, then would be the little armoured cars, and the aircraft flying overhead, and then you knew the end of the parade was getting nearer because you'd hear this whistling sound, a loud, loud whistling, like a wall of sound, getting ever closer. And that was the end of the parade, because at the end of the parade there were the women of the Civil Defence Corps were marching behind the army in their black skirts and their uniform black skirts, and all the men, all the men, my dad didn't do it, but all of the men were whistling out, wolf whistling. So I was suggesting that if I do make a mistake and any flesh gets revealed. You could
we see some.
yeah, you could let me know by wolf whistle. I'll try to. I'll try to correct it. Yes, the other thing about Ireland in the 1950s was reading storybooks. I used to read a storybook. The storybook I had, the story of the Pied Piper with Hamlin, and I used to read that. And the story of the Pied Piper with Hamlin was that Hamlin was a town in Germany that had been overrun by rats and mice, and the Pied Piper turned up and he turned up and he said that the mayor said we were overrun by rats and mice. I'll give you some enormous amount of money, gold and silver, to get rid of the rats and mice. And the Pied Piper said yes. And he took out his pipe and played a tune, and all the rats and mice ran into the river and drowned. And then there were no more rats and mice, and the people were very happy. But the mayor said, "Oh, I was only joking about money." The mayor said, "I was still joking about the money." So the Pied Piper got out his pipe, a different pipe, a fife. When I was a little boy, I didn't know what a fife was, but he got out a fife and he played a different tune. And he brought all the children of the town followed him, and they all walked up to the mountains, and all but one disappeared into the mountains through a portal. I didn't know what a portal was either. And this little boy said that he hadn't been able to keep up with all the other children, and he saw them disappearing into the mountain, and there was a magical land, and they were all happy and playing games in this magical land, and he wasn't able to go in, and he came back. And I used to always think that little boy I was like that little boy. But here I am behind the portal anyway. So now who's Pied Piper with Hamlin. There's another bit about the other thing that we used to do. This is, oh God. The other thing we used to do, maybe this is why the guy left. We used to put Shern in the dance meter. And I left that bit out yesterday. Anyway, yeah. And Shern was like very well. Under conditions, I have done speaking. When my parents looked forward from the time I was born to my achieving this great age, they would have undoubtedly thought that I would end up being a man in my position. And as a man in my position, I would wear a tie and a waistcoat. And that's why I'm demonstrating a tie and a waistcoat in my position. I always wanted to be a man in my position, and never works out, does it? always things go wrong. So, as a man in my position, I would like to make a few remarks this afternoon. And as a man in my position, I should of course wear a hat. So, there we go, hat. I'm speaking to you as a man in my position. I wish to say this is hopeless, can't pass it. I'm going to examine you there, you just go, got to be this. Oh, ha, you got to be there. I used to do this, got to do this. I do not. Man in my position, that's
Hey, ho, hey, na.
Oh. Peekaboo! Peekaboo! Where's it to it? You can do it. It's quite safe. You're still here. You don't go away.
Where's the garden? There it is.
Peekaboo! Peekaboo! Yeah. Trap yesterday didn't do it. There's no buses out there. Oh, yes, there is. Peekaboo! 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 No, it's not working. Yes, there's her. And a man by the back. I got doing in my hat. It's good. A man in my position could be allowed to have. It's a monkey. Get a man. Who's my hat? And he half in his guy. And he goes, into a peekaboo. We need to a peekaboo as well. Not in my position, but it is. That's quite enough. The man in my position, I should have. Oh, I should have introduced, yes, as part of the training for the audience, I should also have introduced the bucket, which is now making a reappearance, but it's its first appearance, but imagine it was here before. The bucket will appear at the end, but Eloise will collect money at the end. And the point is that you fold up your money, or squish it, I don't mind, squish it, and put it in the bucket, and that will make me very happy. Yes, the bucket. The bucket is represents what we can leave in lockdown and what we can take out of lockdown. Everyone votes for, everyone usually votes to leave masks behind. And the things that can be taken out of lockdown are ordering food, having it brought to your house, your table. Very nice. Any other things? Are there any other things to either check out of lockdown or leave in lockdown? One of the things I check out of lockdown is performing internationally by video. Which and meet people by video as well, because we during the course, and it was all on video. But yeah, so I do kind of wonder what the international audience would have made of the gibberish in the last bit. They thought I was talking a different language or it was gibberish. But anyway, they like it. So yes, the taking out of lockdown, performing internationally by video. When the time comes and the collection is at the end, of course we don't take anything out. It's more the training of the audience. We just put the folder out and put it in. And yes, I'd like on this auspicious occasion of the final performance, I'd like to say thank you to Eloise for her help during the holding the bucket at the end. Yes, so any other things to put in the bucket or take out of lockdown?
Pajamas every day.
Anything? Keeping that. Yeah. Anything else? Anything? Or to put back?
Food delivery.
Yes.
What about the furlough? Can I put a furlough?
Yeah, keep the furlough. Yeah. Anything else? Right. Well, so that's yes. So we don't have to interrupt it again. I'll give you the bucket. Right. The other thing is training was because I left it out yesterday because there was only one, so it was not to talk among yourselves. But yeah, so I have been asked if there's an interval, but there won't be an interval. But if anyone would like to order delivery now. Yeah, so a man in my position, right, being talked to like a baby. This is what happens when a man in my position is spoken to as if they were a baby. Because I can remember being a baby and thinking, I am a man in my position. I don't want to be talked to like this. And the voice of the baby's head is the same as the voice of a child. So this is what. Yes, and the first day we were here, speaking of don't put your fingers in there, people who were doing a show after this came in to check on the projector. And one of them wanted to see whether how it worked. Stuck their fingers all the way up there. Don't believe it. I don't. Right. So, my thoughts on aging. You're not too old for anything. You're not too young to try. The time is right. The day is to win. Tonight's a special night. It's here and now. We're going high. We're doing what we choose. Forget tomorrow as you fly. You're not going to lose. They say it's just a number. Then they say that number is you. They say it's not important, but it tells you what to do. But this is where the angels are, and no one asks your age. There is no set, there are no tabs. You're always center stage. You're not waiting for your scene and place. You haven't missed your cue. The spotlight's always on your face. The star of your show is you. It's nothing but some crooked lines darkening a page. It's not your name or who you are. That number is just your age. There isn't any past to hide. The future's not to fear. It's all around you. Look inside. Your forever moments here. For half your life, you're just too young. Then you're mutton dressed as lamb. Too young for this, too old for that. I wonder who I am. You're bigger than a number, and you're more than just a name. You're the boss of all the numbers when you play the numbers game. It's just a little number. A number can be halved, or doubled if you want to, or trebled. See, it's daft to let a little number put you in a cage. Just make it up, invent it, when they say, at your age. Woo! I didn't do that poem for a long time because upon trebling my age, I'd be over 200. No, it's not necessary. Anyway, right, after that, don't know about you, but I need shots, which drinks and shots. And to do this, because it's the afternoon and I have to drive, the part of shots will be taken this afternoon by Iron Brew. So, Iron Brew instead. I should take off my hat myself. So I shall need my shot glasses, obviously. And, in pre-COVID days, I was able to get a member of the audience to assist to this part, but I have to do it myself. Depend upon you, and I can't see a thing. And this is the point where the chap left yesterday. So here we go. Right, so is there first of all, is the head back far enough?
No, more.
Oh, fucking hell. Isn't that straight?
No. It'll do.
That's the right door.
Keep your mouth open.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. The other way.
You might do.
The other way. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
My optician was in here last Sunday, and as he knows, my left eye is on the front of my eye. Is this all right? Is this what I can't see?
No. Bring your hand down a bit. Down a bit. To your left, right.
To my right a bit.
Yeah. To your right.
Towards your nose.
Is that it? Is it good? You see something?
Down the left.
You're making a spectacle of yourself.
Something that's sick.
Right, so.
Down here.
People say I'm wasting my time. I have my ambition is to do it without the tube. I can do it this way, cheating, without the tube. And I have discovered by experiment that I can't do this with both glasses.
You could try.
No.
We might like it.
Well, seeing as this is the last one.
Like one's going to be those.
Seeing as this is the last
Oh.
Oh.
Open wide. Yeah, you can do it really quickly.
On his face. On one leg. One leg.
Huh?
On one leg.
Oh. We should practice that.
There's got to be something when a man in my position is spectacle of himself, like taking out a shot glass of light. I would like to say one more thing. As a man in my position, I would like to say one more. In fact, it's some advice in my position. And I should amplify my voice for this because I do want to make a point. It's been brought to my attention that the Earth is proceeding through space, not in a straight line, but at an angle. At an angle of 23.5 degrees. And this is called the obliquity of the ecliptic. And apparently it causes the mornings to get brighter quicker than the evenings get darker, or something like that. The obliquity of the ecliptic. The Earth is going through space at an angle like this. And I don't know about you, but I wasn't consulted about this, and as a man in my position, I should have been. And I will therefore be taking action against it. So, if you should see me proceeding from my club at night, walking in this fashion, it is not because I have consumed single malt whiskey or anything like that. It is because I am taking action against the angle of the Earth, and I am in fact walking straight, but everyone else is walking crooked at an angle of 23.5 degrees. Thank you. Just want to make that clear. So, that's it. And some further advice to pass on is that you should always look people in the eye. That's the way to get the whole seat to yourself. Always, yes. And yes, no. Yeah, I'm very annoyed by product placement in movies. I get very annoyed when I see things like Dr. Pepper and Jack Daniels being somebody's drink in a television series and a Netflix series. Clearly, it's product placement by both of them. And cigarette smoking in the 23rd century, or whatever it is, in Avatar. The biologist smoking cigarettes all the time. And definitely product placement. And I say that when I'm glad there's no product placement in comedy, because the day product placement arrives in comedy is the day I will hang up my Super Glide Ultra Smooth Rollerball biro pen designed by Eric Krauss, and put away my pocket pad, 192 page, high quality jotter, and I will take up knitting. There you go. Yes. I do have a confession to make. Going to live in the basement and have food delivered down there. I'll never again see the sun up above and come up at night for fresh air. I'll get a long beard and some whiskers, and a long coat right down to my feet. I'll have earmuffs to hide from the whispers they see me around in the street. Changing my name by deed poll, telling people I've gone to Japan. I'm changing my numbers and emails and all. You'll never hear from me again. Why am I going to disappear? Run away over the hills? I haven't committed a hideous crime. This is the cause of my ills. I farted during a Zoom call. I thought the mic was on mute. The green line around me showed them all that I had gone route to toot toot. I'm going to live in the basement, have food delivered down there. I'll never again see the sun up above. I'll come out at night for fresh air. Alright, got a round of applause for putting on my shirt. I'm looking now for a round of applause for changing my shoes. And I shall finish off my little attempt at stand-up. At the same time, yes, you know when you get a message on Facebook and WhatsApp, yes. So the first thing about them is they're entirely voluntary. You put up your, you put on your status on Facebook, and you say, oh, I'm feeling good today, or oh, I'm feeling shit today. Well, I tell you that it's coming, the time is coming when Facebook will be compulsory, and you will look at Facebook in the morning and it will say, oh, feel good, and you'll be glad because you have to feel good all day. And if it tells you you're feeling shit, you'll be feeling shit all day. And my Fitbit tells the Chinese government how much I sleep and everything. But in a few years' time, that's going to be compulsory as well. But you know, I really do think that Facebook has gone too far with this idea of trademarking, copyrighting the letter F. You know, you have to pay Facebook any time you're writing for money. You use the letter F. Mark Zuckerberg, the inventor of Facebook, has copyrighted it. And to that, I can only say, up you, Zuckerberg, up you. But there you go. Yeah, so
Cheers, Mike. Was it a signing? Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Very
You
good.
got a sign to
You
catch.
got a sign to catch.
Okay.
I'll first I know me is quality.
Right. You see how my claim of the audience does actually work. They listen. Okay. When I was alive, I was born in the 1950s. Hit music stayed around for a long time. This I discovered, I thought it was a movie from before I was born, but in fact it was released a year after. Yeah, so the music from this hung around in my childhood. I could hear people singing it, I could hear anyway. Yeah, so